All right, guys, so our first example when it comes to graphing inequalities, we are given an inequality and told to graph it on a number line. When we're starting this, the way I like to do this is to look and see, am I going to have an open circle or a closed circle? And we know that comes directly from this, our inequality sign. And we know if it does not have a or equal to or have that line underneath the inequality sign, it's going to be an open circle. And for this instance, we have x is less than 3. Our variable is isolated, so we know our open circle is going to go at 3. Let me change that. Our open circle will go here at 3. And with our variable being on the left-hand side, it's we can just go ahead and we can shade in the direction of that inequality sign. And all of our solutions here, it will keep going to even numbers that are not on our number line. And we can check our work. We can check to see. We can pick any solution that has been shaded. I can pick any of these numbers right here. For this instance, we'll take -2. Is -2, we'll substitute it in for our variable, is -2 less than 3? Well, absolutely. It's a negative number, and we have a positive number. We know negative numbers are less than positive numbers, so -2 is less than 3, and we know we are good to go with that problem right there. Let's look at our next example. You have x is greater than or equal to -2. And notice our example, it's still example 1 because we're dealing with the same kind of problems. So this is just our second example in example 1. We'll look at our inequality sign. Give you a second to think about it here, but are we going to have an open circle or a closed circle? And we know, based upon our rules that we have discussed, it's going to be a closed circle. So, or equal to, so it will be a closed circle. Variable's on the left-hand side. It's isolated. It's by itself. So we can go to -2. We can go to -2. It's a closed circle because it's greater than or equal to. And we can just follow the direction of our inequality sign. You have to be careful when doing that. That variable has to be on the left-hand side if that's the way you're going to think about it, which is the way that I do, and that's the way we're teaching you to do it. Get your variable on the left-hand side, which it is. It's right here. We can just follow that direction of our inequality sign. And we'll look at examples here shortly where you're going to have to flip some things around, and we will discuss that. But we're going to check here. We'll pick any of these solutions. Let's just pick 4. Is 4 greater than or equal to -2? Well, it's a positive number. It's bigger than a negative number, so we know that one is correct. All right, and our last example here of graphing inequalities is this right here. And what I just discussed, my variable is not on my left-hand side. Notice how it is on our right-hand side. What I need to do, the easiest way to do these, is I need to move it to the left-hand side. But when I do that, I have to flip my inequality sign. So I'm going to move my variable to the left-hand side, but I have to flip it. If I don't flip it, I will be incorrect. I have to flip it. I kept my or equal to, right? I kept the line underneath it, and the -1 will go on the right-hand side, and now I can graph it very easily. Think about it. Do you have an open circle or a closed circle here? The rules we've discussed, we know it's going to be closed. We know it's going to be at -1. We know it will be at -1 here. Our shading will be to the right, because what that's saying is every number that I have shaded is going to be greater than or equal to -1. And just to kind of drive something home here with our inequality sign, how it's or equal to, how it's greater than or equal to. Let's choose -1. Is -1 greater than or equal to -1? Well, absolutely, it's equal to, right? It's the same exact number. So we know that one is correct. I have my closed circle. I can use that to check my solution.